Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into this month's Feature Photographer of the Week. I'm here with Batista. He is based down in Miami, Florida. We're going to learn about his business, a little background on me. My name is Dustin Lucas. I am the owner of Evolve Edits. I have been working for Evolve for over 10 years. My wife and I purchased this business a little over 2 years ago from Sal Sancada, who has ran the business and gotten it to where it is today. I'm going to hand things off to Batista to introduce himself and to learn a little bit about his business.
Hello. My name is Ernesto Batista. Everybody knows me as Batista, and I own a company called DBatista Photography. I'm based in Miami, Florida, but I work all over around. So I travel a lot, and I'm a travel photographer. I work with Evolve, I believe, since 2017, 16, something like that. Back then I started with them, and basically, that's what I do, photography, mainly weddings and quinceañera, and more fashion and artist people. That's my background, basically.
So you based, if I remember correctly, in Orlando and moved down to Miami, right?
That's correct.
Kind of a transition, and things got a little crazier. The budgets got a little bit bigger. Clients, more luxury clients. Talk a little bit about that transition.
That's correct. So I started my business 2010 in Orlando, Florida. So basically when I started, of course my pricing was a lot lower, and back in 2016 I started moving my Orlando customers to Miami, since Miami has a lot more potential for photography. So basically in Miami you have a lot of venues that can rent the space for you to take photos, and you can basically pay a fee and get into a hotel, things that Orlando is not there yet. So basically, Orlando is more like you want to shoot in a luxury hotel, and they say no. There's no options. There's no fee. There's nothing you can do about it unless you get married at the hotel, and now you can shoot at the hotel. But like in Miami, it's a little more flexible. So there's like spaces like Vizcaya Museum, Bilmo Hotel, like amazing places that you can pay a fee, and basically you can just shoot without nobody interrupting you shoot, and that's the main reason why I started moving my Orlando customers to Miami, looking for something different, something new. And then that was my main idea, to separate my business from the rest of the people in Orlando. Because if you're in Orlando and then everybody's shooting in the same space, so basically my portfolio is going to look exactly the same. That's the reason why I moved down to Miami with my customers. So my Orlando customers can see my work and say, oh wow, this is different. I like this guy. This guy from Orlando, but where is this location at? I want to shoot here. You understand? So that's the reason why I started shooting in Miami a lot. And then to a point that I was basically traveling down to Miami 3 times a week, then coming down, shooting, then go back again, shoot, and then go back to Miami. So it's a lot of travel. It became crazy. So my name started to grow in Miami a lot, and then after pandemic, I decided to move down to Miami. And my price point was a little bit higher for Orlando market, which Orlando is a good market. Okay, for the wedding destinations. We got Disney, which is
people coming from all over.
A huge space for destination weddings. But if you want to shoot wedding destination, you want to shoot inside Disney, okay. But then, for example, for quinceañera, there's not a lot. Like Miami, it's the city for quinceañeras.
Okay.
Like I would say, like Miami, California, because of Mexicans. Our culture is a lot bigger than quinceañera. So I started shooting quinceañeras a lot in Miami in 2016, and then by 2021 I came down to Miami, and I'm super happy here, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, and you've been down there, and I have to assume, I mean, it's a pretty saturated market for quinceañera as well as for weddings. And what really kind of stands out for your work is, I mean, I see you in Las Vegas probably the most frequently, shooting in the different those different landscapes and taking clients out there. And yes, it's a different space. I mean, we just talked about you going to Paris twice in the past 30 days. You had a Dubai quinceañera, which was insane.
I'm going to Dubai again.
And you're going back to Dubai. I mean, you have this destination quinceañera business where it was kind of like, hey, come from Orlando to Miami, right? That's the destination. And now it's people in Miami going, everyone shoots here. They go to the shopping centers. They go to Louis Vuitton, you know, the high-end luxury centers, the different places. They go to the waterfront. They get the, you know, and the families, I've heard, are always trying to one-up each other. You know, it's like the daughter had the Lamborghini and then the Maserati. And
it's like, a little fight. That's true.
Which is great for you. It's like, well, you know, the Rodriguez family, you know, they bought my okay package. You know, it's like you want to like level up that kind of stuff. It's like
that, and then I think Miami's very saturated. That's for sure.
Especially in weddings, there's like what over 1,000, almost 1,000. I was looking up on I think the Knot or Wedding Wire the other maybe a few months ago, and it was like 850, 900 registered photographers. And there's not even something like, I don't know, there's
probably more
2,000 or 3,000 weddings, happening. It's like not even
that's just the Knot and Wedding Wire.
Sure.
There's a lot of people that they don't even speak English and they don't even know about the website.
Fair enough. Know? Okay.
So remember, Wedding Wire and the Knot is very American-based website. You know, like that's the Latin community, like not a lot of people know about it. You know, like I'm sure it's probably double that.
Okay.
You know. So, like, for sure, the competition is crazy. The market is super saturated. I'm sure. You know?
So you've been in that market for a while. Talk a little bit about, I mean, because I see a lot of your Instagram, a lot of social media. I mean, a ton of it is in Spanish and definitely attracting that clientele. We've kind of always talked about that, you know, where it's like there's that little bit of a language barrier. Someone feels, you know, are they able to communicate, work with a, you know, English speaking, you know, mainly company? And for you, how has that been? I mean, that's your kind of clientele that you're going after, right?
To be honest, I'm Cuban, so basically I speak English, but my Spanish is my first language. You know, so I would say I started like concentrating a lot more on the English side since Orlando is more American-based people. And then you got Disney, you got people going to Disney, and then a lot of people, they speak English more than Spanish. But then when I came down to Miami is the opposite. It's like 90% speak Spanish, 10% speak English. It's like
fair enough.
A total flip from Orlando. Sure. So if you check my Instagram 4 years ago, you're gonna see a lot of English stuff. You know, me doing the introductions in English, doing my reels in English. My live videos, everything on English. When I moved to Miami, then I started noticing my following audience went up so huge. And the majority of those people, they speak Spanish. And then I'm like, oh, shoot. So what can I do now? You know, I speak English. I get it, you know. And a lot of my people now, they speak English. But I have a bigger community that speaks Spanish and English.
Sure.
So I went back to the Spanish again. Okay. And then now all my content, it's hard because, you know, I try to do a little bit of everything, maybe some Spanglish here and there, and then I throw a sure. you know, a word in English and then another one in Spanish. For sure. Even if you don't speak Spanish, you can get it, you know, or probably like I'm trying to do my videos where there's no captions or words necessary, right?
I see.
I'm referring to what's this guy, Mr. This guy that doesn't talk at all. He just smiles and do stuff.
I'm not sure.
Mr. Bean, maybe Mr. Bean or something like that.
Maybe is that like
a comedian? It's a comedian.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a comedian. Or this this guy that only does this. You know this guy? He don't speak. He never says anything. It's basically putting the content without any English, Spanish, or German. No words necessary. Where you can see the art and you can say, "I love this guy," no matter if he speaks English, Spanish, or whatever. You know, I'm trying to do that. It's super hard. You know,
just kind of bridge that gap on the language barrier. You know,
in a comedian space, for example, it's a little bit easier because basically you show something funny. You don't have to say anything. People understand what's going on. But on the photography side, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but that's what I'm doing. But yeah, my thing changed from English to Spanish 100%. Now I'm trying to do everything in Spanish.
So as far as travel photography, quinceañeras, weddings, where is your business heading in terms of like quinceañeras never slow down, kind of rising, weddings have slowed down? Has everything kind of just been, roller coaster going on an upscale?
Okay,
how have you been scaling the business?
Back when I started with Evolve, I was doing probably like a 70-30, 70% wedding, 30% quince. For some reason, don't ask me why. Okay. Now it's the opposite. Now I'm doing probably 70% quince, 30% wedding. And let me tell you something. You can do a lot of money, for example, on the wedding side. I get it. But there's a lot of people thinking that they cannot do a lot of money, make a lot of money with the quince side. And the quince has a huge potential for money.
Sure.
Right? There's a lot you can do with the quince. And you know why I like it more? Because it's more creative. On the wedding side,
fair enough.
You have, if you're lucky, 30-20 minutes
for creatives
to create.
They don't let you manage that time. You come into their timeline with the wedding planner.
Basically you have the wedding planner saying, go, I'm late, you have to shoot, you have to end. And on the quinceañera side, what I like is you can be creative. So basically I shoot with my quinceañeras like an average, I would say 8 to 10 hours every shoot.
For a session?
For a session. So wow. I do sessions for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. That's my normal packages. So what can you do in 10 hours? A lot.
Sure.
There's a lot you can do in 10 hours. There's a lot of different locations, a lot of changes, a lot of outfits. So you can put 5 ideas together for every shoot. Like there's a lot of creativity you can do on the quinceañera side, and there's no rush. Basically, there's nobody behind my back.
Day. The session's kind of like almost like an engagement. You get way more time on an engagement session. All the creatives,
same thing.
Usually almost sometimes better images on the engagement than you do on the wedding.
100%.
Because you don't have that timeline that makes sense.
It's nice, but normally, in my case, okay, I'm gonna talk based on me.
Sure.
In my case, on the engagement session, yes, you can get like my type of clientele is very high end. And if I do an engagement session, normally they go like super nice tuxedo and amazing dress. But if I compare that, for example, with a quinceañera dress, it's right here. So a quinceañera dress has a lot more. It's more classy. There's a lot more you can create.
Sure. Different colored their ball gowns. I mean, when you're doing a session, it's a dress almost per location.
Imagine you get an engagement session with a couple that they just dress like shorts and a shirt.
It's fair enough.
You understand?
They don't have tigers coming out. They don't have all the animals, the snakes.
So your creativity level goes like,
Sure.
There's a lot you can do on the quinceañera side, and that's the reason why I love it. You can create a lot more. Now, it's a lot of work for me, to be honest. If I compare like how you edit a wedding session, how you edit a quinceañera session is completely different. Quinceañera session has maybe triple the work,
Sure.
But then I like it more. I feel happy when I'm shooting because I'm creating all the time. I'm traveling all the time. I have a lot of props. I can be in 3-4 different locations in a day. So I like it more. And I love my weddings, but it's more like you go with the flow.
Sure.
Type of shooting, it's not like, Papa, there's no time for you to create a lot, like on the quince side, I can create a lot, which that's what I like.
So you can be more creative on the quinceañeras, and we've kind of always talked about that delivery process to them. It's a heavy amount of editing. What's the sales part of your business? Do albums come into play? Are they pre-purchasing an album before they book with you? What's that process?
In my specific case, I have both. In my specific case, I have packages already including albums, and then I have packages not including anything. So album is just the session, the edits, and I'm done. And then I have some packages including album. So there's a lot of, to be honest with you, I have 3 packages. If I say that I sell my basic package 5 times in a year, it's a lot. I never.
Yeah, it shouldn't have much in there. That's the entry level. You know, you're not getting much.
Yeah, it is crazy how things change. Because back in 2016, I was selling that the most.
Of course.
Now, I can show it to the customer, and they can be like, no, that's not me. I don't want to do that. You know. So nowadays, normally my top package is a higher package, to be honest. Not even the middle package. A lot of people, they do high, middle, low, with hopes to sell the middle package.
Yeah, of course, on average.
I did it like that with the same idea. But to be honest, what is going on with me right now is I'm selling the top. Right?
Okay.
So in a week, if I sell 10 packages, right, in a week, I would say 8 packages are the top of the line.
And is that because they get more time with you, more access to products, all the above? Or what does that top package give? Is it the 8, 6, 10?
Yeah, I think the top package has a bigger album, a little more photos included on that album, of course, more time.
Okay.
And I think, to be honest with you, it's just because the top of the customer is already feeling good with that price, and they don't think it's a lot. You understand?
Okay.
So probably it's time for me to go a little higher.
Sure.
To be honest,
well, sure. You're like, let's create
your
your top package becomes your new average package. Is it 12 hours of you? I mean, at a certain point, there's only so many daylight hours. The book can only get so big. What's that next? Are they getting? We haven't really talked about this, but you are doing photo and video. That comes into play with this too, right? Is video just as busy as photo within your business?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. If I compare it to what it used to be before, I would say video was just a little piece of the company. Now video is getting big. Like video, like every session, I would say out of 10 sessions, 9 get video.
Okay.
So, and the video is the same concept. So basically, we offer 2 things. So we put 2 options to the customer. One option is we can do, on the day of the session, we can do a behind the scenes of the session. Behind the scenes can show, to be honest, there's a lot of people that want me to be on that video, right? So it's all about, this guy did my photo. This guy did, you understand? So a lot of people love the idea of the behind the scenes, because the behind the scenes is showing how we work, right?
Sure.
So it's showing me shooting, my assistant, the makeup artist, the family, the mom helping the girl, So it's a lot going on, and mixed with, of course, professional footage from the quinceañera, like badass footage of the quinceañera, like holding the crown, walking, mixed with me saying, go to the right, boo, then you show the photo.
Course.
It's a nice concept if you want to keep it as a memory. So that idea, I think, is knocking that out of the park. Like everybody likes the idea of the behind the scenes. If you don't like that idea and you want your girl to be along all the time in the video and just about her, we can do that too.
Sure.
Same price, there's no difference. The difference is how we record it.
Of course.
You know, but it's working a lot. Plus, now we have, and then with the quinceañera, you have 2 things. And that's the reason why I'm saying there's a lot of potential for money. On the quinceañera, you have the session, and then a lot of times you have the event. You have 2 things. It's not one event; it's 2 events. So you can classify it as 2 different events, because the price is the same price twice. So you're doing the same thing twice.
Sure.
You have the session, 8 hours, 10 hours, and you have the event. So basically, you can do photo and video on the session, and you can do photo and video on the event. So one single customer can make you a lot of money. Of course. So that's the reason why I say there's a lot of potential in the quince side. People don't see it. People people see it as, oh no, you're a quinceañera photographer. No, but hey, there's a lot you can do. You know, probably more than wedding. You know.
Yeah, and especially in your market. I mean, we work with quince photographers in California, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth area, and then yours. And I always bring up, I'm like, man, nothing against a Texas quince, but it's a little different than a Miami quince. I mean,
it is. Yeah, Texas is more Mexican. They have a different culture.
And it's like budget, the wardrobe, the party. I mean, you name it. I mean, they don't have tigers, on chains and stuff down in Texas.
You know what?
Much,
but
it's crazy.
Dustin, you know what? It's crazy because the Mexicans, which that's what you get from Texas, the Mexicans, they have a huge culture on the quince side.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, a lot of the quinceañera gowns are coming from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So they're one of the creators of the idea and the gowns and the concept. Now, I think Miami took it to another level.
Sure, yeah, as they usually do.
And it's Miami. That's it, period. Because there's no competition. Like California, you get a lot of quinceañera. Texas, New York, but nobody competes with Miami. Like Miami, quinces are like top of the top.
Sure.
But I think the main idea came actually from Mexicans, and I think they do good. They just like the classic stuff.
Sure.
They're not like we Miami. We like loud.
Well, of course. I mean, there's like you said, you're Cubano. There's a lot of that influence, a lot of that color and energy and dancing. I mean, it's like you can't be down there and not be like, we're going to go to a club and dance. Like you can't come to my. They just listen. I mean, you're in your car and it's shaking, from the just
listen. You can you can get crazy just looking at ideas. There's like a lot of quinceañeras, for example, that they have a background on dancing, for example, like ballerinas or whatever. They take that concept, include it with the quinceañera shoot. There's a lot you can do, like to a super professional level, like amazing level, like movie type of things, and that's the reason why I love it. Because you don't have to stay with the basic. You can say, "Are you a ballerina? Awesome. Why not? Let's do this. Let's do that." I recently bought a snow machine, for example. Things that you're gonna use for like Christmas, right? So you use it for Christmas, right? To do something with your kids and stuff. I'm buying this stuff because I want to do something different.
Sure.
Right. So now I'm in Miami. When you see snow in Miami, never in your life. So I'm trying to do creative stuff that gets me out of that bubble, Of
course.
And I'm gonna be doing that every single day, And that's the reason why I love the quince side, because you can get creative. Weddings, I love it too, but it's more like square. You know? That's it. You get there, getting ready, ceremony, a couple shots. And then, introduction, first dance. It's the same thing, unless
it's a sliver of creative. Yeah.
Unless you sell, I do it all the time too, post-wedding sessions.
Yeah.
And then now you can say, okay, you have a post-wedding session. Why? Let's do Santorini for your post-wedding session.
Sure. Now they can travel. Yeah.
Now I like it. You understand?
Sure.
Now it's different. Now I can create. Now I can do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
But the wedding day, it's mainly the same thing all over.
It's a big event, of course.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how you're through that transition down to Miami and still you're, like most of us, we're creatives, we're passionate about it, but you've monetized and profited and built a business where you're like, what's the next up package? I mean, that's what a good problem to have, but clearly that energy, that creativity, that passion you have comes through a lot of your marketing and your clients, and a lot of referrals have to come from loved going on a session with Batista. I mean, I love hearing that and learning, even more about, your business, and been working together for a long time. And thank you so much for taking the time to connect with us today.
Of course, always.
Learn about your business. And yeah, so next time, guys, you want to go ahead and check us out for our feature photographer of the week. We're doing this every week with featuring one of our clients. Thank you again, Batista, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you, Dawson. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.